Rattlesnake Trail and Coal Mine Trail. One of these sounds like it might be okay. The other one, not so much. That one little name, one little word in the title. Rattlesnake Trail. Who's first, y'all? I came back up. I figured I'd show you guys one of the trails since I was here. You know, show you the pretty trail, you know, the mountains, the woods, you know, spring, that kind of thing in West Virginia. And it kind of dawned on me, well, which trail would probably have the fewest hikers on it? One came to mind immediately. Rattlesnake Trail. That just does not sound that inviting, does it? Well, that's where we're going. Now you see these all over the place. It's a flowering, I think it's a rhododendron. I'm not sure. Maybe some of you guys can correct me on this, but they bloom, they flower, and they're all over the place here. They're beautiful plants. They just, all summer long, they have these big, beautiful blossoms all over them. Now, you can see there's a lot of wildlife. Deer tracks. It looks like I see some horseshoes too. So somebody's riding horses up here as well. How you doing? Beautiful day, ain't it? He's not from here. A hillbilly would have said hi. Just somehow it didn't seem right coming out and doing a video and not wind up in the woods at some point, right? Gotta find a briar patch, and somehow I have to get rained on today. A litter bug. Litter bug. I'll get that on the way back out. And the thing is, a trash can right down there. That's terrible. Trash can 30 feet away. Well, I don't see any rattlesnakes yet. We may need to change the name of this to No Rattlesnakes Trail. It's nice to see leaves coming back, little blossoms. It's nice to see that after a long cold winter. Stuff like this takes you back to your childhood days, you know, roaming the mountains. A lot of you West Virginians and other hillbillies in other states, and I know we're not the only ones, but a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you were younger, staying out here in the woods all day, just roaming, not doing anything, just looking around. Play with a bug, maybe. Very much reminds you of when you were young. Of course, I guess a lot of people didn't do this stuff when they were young. A lot of people don't do this stuff when they're grown. You know, we get comments all the time that, you know, beautiful area, that kind of thing, and never get to see. Oh, it's just a bird. Thought we had a rattlesnake. The bird. But anyway, You know, a lot of people have never seen stuff like this, let alone played in it when they were a kid, you know, grew up in it. You know, like I mentioned earlier, if you're born in a city, you know, you're raised concrete, steel, and glass, and you don't necessarily get to see this sort of thing. And like I said earlier, this is southern West Virginia. Actually not that far from my house, about 30-40 minutes from my house. But all the mountains in the area are rugged, straight up, steep. And we have a saying here that it doesn't matter where you're going, it's still uphill both ways. And it's actually, most of the time, it's pretty much true. A big piece of coal. And here, look at this. In the old coal mining days, piece just laying there. Lump of coal. This was dug out of a mountainside somewhere. And they had intentions of taking this and selling it. But this lump apparently fell off. Wound up here right beside the trail. And here we are. Whole thing, it weighs it's very light, weighs nothing. Just a few ounces, something like that, maybe 5 ounces, something like that. It's very light. But you'd be surprised how long that'll burn. Piece like that, stay cherry red for an hour. Long time. That's why coal's sought after so much. There's an incredible amount of energy in just this one little rock. It's nearly pure carbon. Which pure carbon is diamond, but you know, you compress that and press the impurities out, and that's what you get. You get diamond. Like right here. Now I just picked this up just right next to it. Let me get that other piece back and show you something. I want to show y'all something. All right, let me get them down here. Now you see the difference between the two? This is that piece of coal I just had a minute ago. And this right here is a totally other animal right here. You see, when they're making steel, stuff like that, you take coal and you process it. Basically, more or less, you heat it, but without flames touching it. Sort of, you know, sort of like you do charcoal, more or less. But anyhow, it turns it into this stuff. It's called coke. Not that kind, guys. You put this stuff in this stuff right here in a coke oven, and that's how you make steel. You take coal and turn it into coke, and that's how you make steel. You cannot make steel without coal, period. You know, I've mentioned this before. Everybody hollers dirty coal this, dirty coal that. But yeah, the minute you do away with coal, you do away with steel. You know, that's just a fact. And you take this little piece of coal right here. You take all these electric cars out here on the road, and the government trying to push electric cars, trying to make you buy one. Well, guess what? That car's still made with coal, and it still runs on coal. All you're doing is adding an extra step, making it more expensive, and I guess maybe making yourself feel a little bit better. But it doesn't change anything. It's still made from coal. Weird, huh? I know. Can't tell some people nothing. But just look at the little flowers. Little stuff blooming. It's nice to see. See the mountains turning green again. I like them in the winter. I think the mountains are just as beautiful no matter what season it is. I really do. In my honest opinion, I think that it's like a beautiful woman. It's like Heather. She's pretty, whether she's happy, or if she's mad, or if she's crying. That stuff makes no difference. She's just as pretty. And I think West Virginia mountains are the same way. Whew. Steep little section there. Came up the hill there. Rattlesnake Trail. No horses up here. We've got it bar hiking and biking, no horses. You know why? Because your bicycle won't run if it hears a rattle. If you're on a horse and he hears a rattlesnake, he don't care what you say. He's leaving, with you or without you. He don't care. He heard a rattlesnake. I'm keeping my eyes open. It's in places like that. Look here. Places like that, back under that rock, back down in that stump, back in there. All these are prime rattlesnake territory. So I guess I can see why they named it that. You can see the little, how it goes through the little valleys, little curves, with rocks exposed. That's the kind of thing rattlesnakes love. More coal all over the place here. Look at that. It's laying everywhere. There, here too. There's coal laying all over the place. Hello. Something just moved. Probably a ground squirrel, but we'll go look anyway. I see them on the tours, on my trail rides a lot. I see rattlesnakes and copperheads and black snakes and bears, bobcats, coyote, all kinds of crazy stuff on the rides. Just kind of hoping we'd see a rattlesnake. Pet him a little bit. Okay, maybe not. Timber rattlesnakes, by the way, timber rattlers, they're actually pretty easy to spot. When you see one, you'll know. They have really dark, blotchy sections that contrast really well. Most animals like to try and hide, camouflage, that sort of thing. Rattlesnakes don't need to camouflage. They don't need to hide from you. They're not afraid of you. That's why they don't bother with camouflage. They don't need it. They have poison. They have fangs. But just look at that. That's how far I've came up already. That's the roadway down there. Getting good at this stuff, Heather. I'll admit, a few years back, there's a place called Squirrel Mountain. My uncle used to take me hunting. And I wanted to go up there hunting. I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, something like that. And I couldn't make it. I made it maybe a third of the way up the mountain. And it just absolutely bugged me to death that I couldn't climb that mountain anymore. So I went back and I just kept hitting it over and over and over and over. And it was like every time I went, I made it a little bit higher. Last time I got to the top and then covered about 3 miles on beyond that point. So this stuff, it's like my love of nature kind of saved my life, made me healthy again. You know, once I got to the point where I realized I couldn't do this stuff anymore. We can't have that. And here we are. So, yeah, my love of nature got me back out here again. And got me physically able to do it. Look at the moss. Stuff looks like it's 2 inches deep on that log. Wow, it is. Look at that. You can see the bark preserved underneath there. Look at that. It's a pine. It's a pine tree in there. Come on, rattlesnakes, where y'all at? Here, snaky, 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 come on. Good boy. Right there, guys. Thought I'd show you this. See those? Those we call fiddleheads. They're edible. It's one of the first things you see come up in the spring. Look at that. Just a little purple flower, just random. They're scattered all over the place. It's getting pretty out here, guys. Well, I ain't seen no rattlesnakes. I feel cheated. See that big old down tree up here and stuff like that, where you have ground exposed, going back under rocks and things. It's usually a good place to find them. I don't see any open areas. Don't see anything open on this side. No, it fell that way. You can see where it fell. That's the open end there. If it had fallen downhill, it would have been a different story. And if you look, I don't know if y'all can see this or not. Very little slight hint of red way down in there. That's where I parked at. Something's been climbing right there. You see that? You're going through the stuff here, so gotta watch your step. Watch where you're walking. Y'all see that? That is a game trail. Now, it's probably deer and bear. It's bigger stuff. Little stuff, rabbits, squirrels, stuff like that. They either have no trail at all or a very little skinny one. That's a wide trail. That's something bigger. Probably deer, but bear are out. This time of year it's warm enough. It's actually close to 90 today. 80 something. So it's definitely warm enough for bears and snakes. So I've already seen a bunch of large black snakes this year. Saw 2 of them the other day, just on the same. Had a group of trail riders out roaming the woods, roaming the mountains and side by sides. Run up on 2 big ones. And I'll tell you something else too. If you Google black snakes, according to Google, according to the internet, black snakes only get about 6 feet long. I don't care what Google says. I have seen with my own eyes, I have seen black snakes 10 feet long. I don't care what anybody says. I have seen them with my own eyes. I've seen them go stretch completely across a trail from one side to the other. And a black snake is incredibly fast. You would be shocked at how quickly a black snake can get out of town. They just kind of, like a spring, they just launch themselves repetitively so many times. Incredible rate of speed, you know? And it's just boom, 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 boom. But it seems like it's all one continuous movement, but it's not. But either way, the snake can cover, 20 feet in just a matter of a second or two. They call them black racers. And they are, like I said, they are incredibly fast. You would be shocked at how fast a black snake is. And a lot of mayapple and stuff too. Glad to see that up. We used to hunt that when I was a little kid. Sell the roots. My aunt and uncle, they'd be out getting ginseng and bloodroot, yellow root, stuff like that. Us kids would be gathering up all the mayapple. It wasn't much, you know, just a few bucks. But back in the 70s, a few bucks was a little bit of money for a kid. So we were cool with it. We didn't have a problem with making less money than the parents did. We were cool. We're going to go buy a flashlight. Look how steep that is. Straight down. You fall here, you ain't going to stop till you get to the bottom. Probably another reason they're not real crazy about horses out here. A whole bunch of down trees just ahead of me a little ways. Maybe find a rattlesnake. Here, snaky, where you at? Come on. I won't hurt you. I just want to take your picture, make you famous. Now, places like this, you look, like I said, for those dark, blotchy sections, and there'll be lighter colors on them as well. Timber rattlers, their colors are very contrasting. Like I said, they don't try to hide, they don't need to. I don't see or hear anything. Or nothing that could be what we're looking for anyway. There, folks, how many YouTubers take you out and go looking for rattlesnakes with you? Not a whole lot of you. Check that one out. Look at the size of that thing. Wow. You can see where it broke. The tree's right there. Great big one. I bet that was a crash when that thing fell. Nope. Just that. Thought I heard something. Oh well. Okay. One downhill, which means coming uphill, going back, another hill to climb. All I need to find now, y'all, is a thorn patch and a thunderstorm, and it'll be like most of my other videos. I always wind up in a thunderstorm in a briar patch someplace. Wow. Pretty little valley right here coming up. A whole bunch of those, I think they're rhododendrons, I'm not sure. Well, check this one out. Now, I have never seen a plant like that. I have never in my life seen anything like that. What in the world? Y'all see that? Anybody know what that puppy is? Hit us up in the comments. Tell me what that is if anybody knows. I'd be curious. I've never seen Never seen that before. You see a lot of various fungus from morels, chicken of the woods, or mushrooms basically. It's fungi. Look at that one. Big hole back in there. Look how pretty, guys. Steep, rugged, and just plain beautiful. Isn't that nice? Kind of lose the trail through here, I'm assuming that way. But she ends right there, as a matter of fact. So we'll explore a little bit longer. See what we can see. There's some more of them weird looking little plants too. More of them there. One there. Whole bunch there. It'll slope a little bit. You go by there, you have to hold on to the trees. One of them, you know, you slip. As long as you got a good grip on the tree, you just swing around the tree and come back up. If you don't have a good grip on the tree, you go to the bottom. Learned that one at a young age too, back in these mountains. It's like they say about monkeys and trees. Make sure you got a good grip on the new tree before you let go of the old one. All right, big log here to cross where she's fell. Look at that. Goes all the way down through there. Crunchy leaves. Love that sound. Except when I'm hunting. I don't like it then. Okay. Well, that's the end of Rattlesnake Trail. Problem is, there ain't no rattlesnakes, y'all. We need to call this non-Rattlesnake Trail. Okay, yeah, all right. I'm gonna start back out. If I see anything interesting on the way back out, I'll break the camera back out. And if not, I'll see you back down at the car. Remember I said if I saw anything interesting, I'd turn the camera back on? Looky here. It's just about 20-25 feet away. Look at this. Walking right to me. Hi, little girl. Hello, little girl. How are you? How are you today? I stopped dead. I'm not talking too loud. I don't want to scare her. Something moving in the weeds behind me here. We'll just keep an eye both ways. And check that out, right in front of me. We're just nibbling away. She heard it too. She looked over there when I did. She heard something over there too. Look at that. How pretty is that, y'all? Hello. How's your baby? Huh? How are you? How's your little girl today? I'm going to take a step or two here in a minute. Just see what she does. See if she runs or stays. She seems to not be... She's a little bit wary of me just to be on the safe side, but... We don't seem to be too terrified, do we? Oh, my butt's itching. Hang on. Okay, I got it. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna see if I can go up to her without her running. You're fine. You're a fine, pretty girl. Yeah, you're okay. She's getting nervous. You're okay, honey. I wouldn't hurt you. Tail's down. She's not too terrified. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, little girl. Bye-bye. You watch out for rattlesnakes, okay? I hear they're up here, but I ain't seen none. Oh well. Just thought I'd show y'all that. I see weird stuff like that from time to time, but I usually don't have the GoPro in my pocket when I do. She wasn't too worried, was she? I'll say one thing about Rattlesnake Trail. It's both a bomb and the bomb. It's a 1.5 mile climb, pretty much uphill about 80–90% of the way. It's a great climb. So it's just did the whole trail all in one shot. Cool. You can see here, this has been on fire. You can see the coal seam underneath the ground. You see that? This coal seam's been on fire at some point. You can see the red over there too. Where I showed you earlier, the coke. That's where it's been heated up, but it didn't catch on fire. Natural forming. They call it red dog. But it's the same basic principle. We are almost back down. This is where the two trails separate. The what was it, Rattlesnake Trail, and I think it was Coal Mine Trail goes on out this way. But we aren't going all the way out. I figure, oh, 1.8 miles. I thought it was 1.5, so 1.8 each way. I did 4 miles worth of hiking today, uphill, looking for rattlesnakes. Found a deer. Very friendly deer, though. I'd like to have seen a rattlesnake that friendly. I'd like to have seen a rattlesnake at all. Friendly, angry, whatever. We just want to say hi. Back down the mountain's tricky too. In a lot of ways, coming down is harder than going up. Going up, you're kind of in control. Coming down, gravity's in charge, not you. So you got to watch them when you're coming back down. Little short steps. That way, if your foot does slip out, you land on your other foot. Long steps, you land on your ass. We're almost back down to the road. There's the road there. I wonder if we'll see the deer again. She was coming down right back over that way. Probably down there in the car, as friendly as she was. She probably down there got the car turned on, got the air conditioner going for me. There she is, heading back up. What are you afraid me now for? We just met up on the hill, y'all. Come on. She wasn't afraid of me back up in the hill. She's... Oh, there she is. Hello, little girl. How are you? Remember me? We just met like 5 minutes ago. Remember me? What you eating? Is it good? Can y'all see her right there? I don't know if y'all can see her right center of the screen. Just standing there looking at me. About 30, 40 feet away. There she goes. And you can see her when she moves, I'm assuming. There's some very friendly deer over here. I don't think I'd want to hunt here. These are like house deer. And Heather has a bunch at the house. Well, we have a bunch at the house that hang out in the yard all the time. Yeah, I won't hunt those. You know, they're, I don't know, they're like pets or something. You know, they make your yard look pretty. But I won't hunt those. A lot of my neighbors did, unfortunately. Of course, that's neither here nor there, I guess. They, you know, legally allowed, I suppose. It's not like they did something illegal, I guess. But still yet, you know, shooting a deer that'll pretty much come up to you wanting a snack, that's not hunting. What's this? Look at it. I think something's working on a den, isn't it? I'm doing some digging. And you can see horseshoes. Where people going up the, what is it, coal mine trail or something. Sure is nice out this time of year, isn't it? Not too hot. Pretty. Wildlife's out. Beautiful weather, warm. Hello, ground squirrels. You hear a bunch of them over there. They'll do that peep and then run. And a bunch of them right in there. 3 or 4. See my piece of trash I spotted on the way up. And get that, throw it in the car and go back down. Somebody's Taco Bell cup. Shame on you, whoever you are. Y'all know better. Trash can right there. You can hear them over there working on the grass. Blowers, weed eaters. It's over by the, like I said, they got the golf course, basketball court, and swimming pool down there. They're up there cutting the grass. Campground was really nice. It was pretty. Yawning. Sorry. You know, this one is Waterfall Trail, and if it's anything like Rattlesnake Trail, it does not have waterfall. Okay, all right, I'm gonna assume there's probably a waterfall somewhere. But look how pretty that is. Just a little pretty mountain stream. And this one here, guys, this is like mountain water. This isn't, you know, from some old landfill or something, you know what I mean. This is pure West Virginia goodness right here, y'all. Mountain West Virginia water right there. You could probably drink that stuff right out of the creek if it weren't for animal feces. You know, possibility of E. coli. You could pretty much drink it right out of the creek. We used to drink it all the time when I was a little kid. We used to drink creek water all the time. Okay, now which one's which? Okay. Woodpecker Trail is to the right, down that way. And Waterfall Trail is to the left. Okay, well, I say we go check for the waterfall. We've seen woodpeckers before. Look at all the flowers blooming though. Look how pretty. Just all over the place, all through here. Just flowers blooming, green. Looks like summer's back. Not quite, but you know what I mean. It's getting there. Flowers everywhere. I'm going to assume that means this is a green trail. Because it's 3/4 of a mile to the waterfall. So we'll add another 1.5 miles to today's walk. Put me about what? 4, 5.5, we'll say 7 miles hiking today, something like that. Somewhere in that ballpark. A little bit further than I usually hike to get to a graveyard. Now this one, this right here is a pretty little steep section right here. Okay. Woodpecker Trail's uphill. We'd take Waterfoot Trail. And we're definitely getting in some hiking today, that's for sure. Ooh, it's nice and cool here in the shade. This little creek valley, you can feel cold air pouring out from up there, coming straight down. I may have to stop here and take me a 5, just because it's so nice. We need a bench here. This would be a good spot to just chill for a minute. It's real pretty. Nothing around you. More of that stuff. That looks kind of snaky there too, don't it? But you see a lot of little silly stuff like that. We used to catch these little salamanders, little dark salamanders, just for fun. You didn't like eat them or anything, but just kids, we'd catch them and play with them. Called them water dogs. I don't know who or why they got that name, but they were called water dogs. Just little dark colored salamanders from 2-3 inches, big one maybe 4 inches, something like that. We just catch them for fun, kids. All right, I'm going to turn the camera off. Got a hill to go up. Looks like I got about a half a mile hike ahead of me. Now we're going to go see if we can't find this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off, and we'll see you guys in a minute. Well, I found waterfall. I found the waterfall on Waterfall Trail. Unlike Rattlesnake Trail, there's actually a waterfall on Waterfall Trail. Check that out. Ain't a whole lot of water in it right at the moment, but it's still a waterfall. I had to hike 3/4 of a mile back up the trail and then climb down and come down the creek to get to it. But yeah, there's no way I'm going to come up all the way up here and not show y'all the waterfall. I mean, my God. Let's see if I can get over here. We can see back under there. But just look how beautiful this is. Some pure West Virginia goodness, folks, right there. Steep, rugged, almost impenetrable. Almost. That's mayapple right there. That's the stuff I was telling you about earlier. Big patch of it right there. As the tops look like umbrellas. Sit right there. But we used to dig that when we were kids. And there's the rhododendrons. This whole place is going to be just insane blooms. Right there's one, great big one right there. If you look at the tips, I don't know if you can see them on this one right there in front of us, the Y, right there. I don't know how well you can see them, but you can see little blossoms starting to form at the tips of the limbs. This place will be covered with flowers very soon. Beautiful, beautiful place. If you like nature, yeah, this is it. You don't get much more. You don't get any more natural than this. I mean, look at this creek. Millions of years this thing's been flowing here. Cut these deep valleys. You can see the steep sides on both sides. This little creek did all that. Little tiny creek dug that rock out and all that stuff down below it. Just a little tiny creek, but given millions of years. Pretty place. All right, I'm gonna see if I can't weasel around and get around to the bottom of that thing somehow or another. I don't know if I can or not. I didn't really see any way down. That side there is really steep. This side here, you'd have to climb down that way and go down there to get down in there. So I think we'll pass on that. Just show you the waterfall from the top. And I'll show you from over there too when I get over there. But I think we'll pass on climbing down in there this time. Feeling lazy today. I guess 7 miles of hiking in one day's enough, huh? All right, I'm gonna turn the camera off and wiggle back around there. You need both hands to work through this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna turn the camera off and work my way back around to the other side and see if I can't get a view from, at least from below the falls. Little memento of my visit. Just leave a little something natural, obviously. Right there's where you go down, get in the upper section of the falls. I just came up the creek right there and turned the camera back on when I did the rocks. There's the bottom. Excuse me. The bottom of the waterfall there. You see where it drops off. You can hear it a little bit. And a whole lot of water in it right now, but I guess that's a good thing. Means it's not raining on me, right? It goes on back out. About 3/4 of a mile back in from the road right here. So now I gotta start walking back. Well, I'm almost back to the car. I can see him up through that way, a little ways off. It was a quick 1.5 miles. Take long at all if their signs are all accurate. I've hiked about right at 7 miles today, 6.8 so far, if their signs are right. But I just thought I'd bring you guys out here today and show you something a little bit different. You know, not our usual fare. You know, nobody got murdered, nobody got killed, nothing bad happened. At least we hope anyway, till I get out of here, you know what I mean? But like I said, I just thought I'd bring you guys out and show you a little bit of West Virginia, you know, some of the stuff you may not get to see very often. Look at that. Just a random little place on a trail. And look how beautiful it is. You can see the trail goes on out through that way. That's where we're headed, back that way. Whoa! Slick spot. That's why you take short steps right there. If your foot slips, you land on your other foot. That's why. But anyhow, like I was saying, you know, I just figured I'd bring you guys out for a change. Show you something really pretty. Some of our natural wonder, so to speak. Right here you can see like the rhododendrons. They're all over the place. The ones out in the sun have little buds. The whole place is getting ready to bloom. They're all over the place. That's one, there's one, there's one. And they're all flowering trees. They get these great big blossoms on them. They're really pretty. But I'd imagine another month from now, this place will be completely covered in them. And it will be even prettier than it is now, if that's possible. But the woodpecker trail, I didn't see any woodpeckers. The Rattlesnake Trail had no rattlesnakes. And the waterfall trail, he had a waterfall, but there wasn't much water in it. Oh well, right? We went there anyway, and you guys got to come along. But I just figured I'd bring y'all out here and show you some of this stuff that you probably don't get to see a lot. You know, just do a little bit of hiking while videoing. Sure is nice out today though. No snow, no ice. The water on your eyeballs doesn't freeze when you walk. It's pretty nice. Birds singing. They're glad winter's gone too. Slip rock. We're almost back down to the bridge where you first come in at, or exit, depending on your point of view. It's really nice, isn't it? There are birds singing and all kinds of little critters running around looking for lunch. And here's the bridge. Woodpecker Trail, right. As they're up there hiding out with rattlesnakes, no doubt. Wow, just look at that. Bridge is old too. You can tell it's been here a long time. But just look at that. Wow. Something as simple as that. Just water running down a hillside. Could be that pretty. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys coming along. Hopefully I showed you something interesting, something cool today, and nobody died. So that's good. No funeral, no graveyards today, none of that stuff. Just that. Wild West Virginia goodness. Beautiful. Anyhow, guys, thank y'all for coming along. Hopefully y'all enjoyed some of it, some of the pretty scenery, some of this stuff, some of the historic aspects. We got the video for the other, the footage for the other videos. Like I said, mentioned once before, we've usually got several in the pipe at any given time. This one needs video from here, and that one needs a video from over there. So I thought I'd come down and get some of that video today. And while I was down here, just take you guys out for a walk in the woods, show you around a little bit. But we saw some wildlife. We saw a bunch. My phone's ringing, scared the crap out of me. Probably Heather. Rattlesnake. All right, I'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Thank y'all for coming along. We really appreciate you. Thank you. Hillbillies out. It's an old coal silo. Coal would come down off the mountain into the top of the silo, fills it up, and then they'd load it from here. Just thought I'd stop there for a second. Almost drove right by it, almost missed it. Was looking for it and almost drove right by it. Just an old silo sitting out in the middle of the woods all by itself. A remnant from long, long ago. Thought I'd stop and show y'all that. That's what a coal silo looks like. They wrap the steel bands around them later. Just help reinforce the concrete, that sort of thing. Seen a few of them like that, with the steel bands wrapped around them. But anyhow, that's what an old coal silo looks like.